Breaking news. In the south of Ukraine, fighting continues despite Putin's dismissal of the offensive. On Friday, fighting broke out in southern Ukraine, but Russian President Vladimir Putin said Kyiv's long-anticipated offensive was doomed to fail. While praising the bravery of Ukrainian soldiers, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made no mention of what some have speculated as the beginning of Ukraine's attempt to reclaim territory from Russia. Zelensky thanked the troops for their sacrifice every day, saying, "We see your heroism and we are grateful for every minute of your life." Officials in Ukraine have stated that their forces are prepared to launch a counteroffensive, but that they will not make a public announcement prior to doing so. After Moscow claimed it had repelled several Ukrainian assaults, Putin said it had already begun. Putin said in a video, "All counter-offensive efforts so far have failed, but the offensive potential of the Kyiv regime still remains." After the United States announced a new $2.1 billion $9.69 billion package of military aid for Ukraine. According to Moscow, fighting has escalated in the Zaporizhzhia region since Thursday. The region is home to Europe's largest nuclear power plant, which uses the Dnipro for its cooling ponds. The destruction of the Kakhovka Dam has threatened these water sources by flooding 600 square kilometers of land and forcing the evacuation of thousands of people. U.S. aid programs expand. If the Ukrainian military were to achieve victory in the Zaporizhzhia region, they would be able to cut the land connection between Russia and the Crimean Peninsula, which Russia annexed from Ukraine. For Moscow, that would be a devastating turn of events. Over the past few months, the Russian military has dug kilometers of trenches and fortified its defenses in order to strengthen its front lines in the region. In a statement, the Russian military claimed to have thwarted 4 attacks in the area, carried out by forces of up to 2 battalion tactical groups, reinforced with tanks. Many observers have taken the uptick in fighting in the south as evidence that the counter-offensive is already underway or close at hand. While few specifics were provided by Kyiv, the main center of combat was still in eastern Ukraine. The news that the United States would be sending missiles for Patriot air defense systems, artillery rounds, drones, and munitions for their laser-guided rocket system to Ukraine bolstered Kyiv's armed forces. The White House reported on Friday that Russia had received Iranian supplies for a drone factory that could be fully operational early next year, on Russian soil. According to estimates from the United States government, Iran has supplied Russia with hundreds of attack drones and other equipment to aid in its war in Ukraine. Victims of a dam break. The Dnipro River was swollen with floodwaters, and rescue workers worked feverishly to reach those who were trapped by the rising waters. On Friday, Russian-installed authorities in southern Ukraine reported 8 fatalities and warned that the water level was likely to rise further. The Moscow-appointed head of the Kherson region, Vladimir Saldo, said on Telegram that the water could keep rising for up to 10 days, affecting 22,273 homes in 17 settlements. Kherson and Mykolaiv officials, however, said the water levels in their areas had started to go down. At least 5 people were killed, according to Ukrainian Interior Minister Igor Klimenko, and 13 others went missing. Dam was breached by explosives. Ukraine and Russia have both been blamed for the breach of the Kakhovka Dam, but the head of EU foreign policy, Josep Borrell, has said that everything indicates that Russia was responsible. Borrell stated on Spanish national television that the dam was not bombed. The areas housing the turbines were rigged with explosives, which led to its destruction. The Russians have taken over this territory. The Norwegian Seismological Institute reported detecting an explosion at the time and location the dam was breached, lending credence to the theory that the breach was not the result of damage sustained during the months of heavy bombing. The dam's operator, Ukrhydroenergo, has speculated that it was mined from the inside. As a result of the Kakhovka Dam, water levels in a reservoir were reported to be below the critical point of 12.7 meters by Ukrainian authorities. the reservoir reportedly stopped providing water to homes and the cooling ponds at the massive Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Late Thursday night, however, the International Atomic Energy Agency reported that despite the damaged dam, water was still being pumped to the nuclear plant. The 6 reactors at the plant have been shut down, but they still require cooling water to prevent a nuclear meltdown.